Now that we know that the bear market or flat market, whatever you want to call it, is going to last for probably years and not months, I think the focus is really going to switch to altcoins and finding the low market cap coins that really turn into winners. That's why today I'm going to go over in my opinion, very underrated metaverse coin. It's called Next Earth. It's been on exchanges for about 3 months. It's gone up about 4 times since then at its peak. Currently, it's at about 2 times price at launch 3 months ago. So this has vastly outperformed Bitcoin, BTC, and the rest of the market's been pretty flat during this time. And I think there's definitely room for this coin to go up to its previous peaks and then some. So let's dive in. What is Metaverse? So, what is Next Earth? So, they are a metaverse. You can buy and stake land as usual. You can then develop an entrepreneurial ecosystem on your land, get some other projects going there. Owning land that gives you voting rights within the DAO that governs the Next Earth metaverse. It's like the project they're focusing on an entertainment complex in the future. They haven't released what they're going to do, but it looks like they might be starting like a concert area in the metaverse. You can have concerts. Project also has a charity focus here. They'll go over this more later, but they do 10% of all revenues go to environmentally based charities. That's good. It's always good publicity there and a good cause. Let's look at the numbers. So they're a small market cap coin, $120 million total market cap, ranked 4,800 in coin market cap. So that's definitely small market cap. In the metaverse sector, they would be ranked, or they are ranked around 15 or so in terms of total market cap. So, it's between some projects you probably haven't really heard of. It's not bottom, it's not like a really, really low market cap coin. It's not like a $5 million market cap, but it's definitely towards the bottom there, which means there's room to grow. And let's check out the team here. So 23 employees. That actually kind of surprised me because for a small market cap coin, that's sort of high. Typically, you expect maybe 4 or 5 pseudo-anonymous team members. That's not the case. 23, all real legit people here with great backgrounds. I'm going to go over 3 co-founders. So 2 of the co-founders looks like their background is mostly tech consulting, Code Cluster, and then Sabo Technologies. And then they have a little bit of small crypto experience since then. So this is good. I think it's good experience. It's related. It's tech consulting. And then this one's really interesting. So this is the third co-owner. So his background, he ran a bunch of franchises for Escape Room, that real life game sort of maze thing, which I think this really comes in handy because Escape Room, they had done zero traditional marketing. They apparently have like a $0 marketing budget, and they are just word of mouth, and they have spread like wildfire. So that's great sort of grassroots marketing experience. It's going to really come in handy for a low market cap coin like Next Earth here. Then going into their marketing team even more, so usually small market cap coins that might have a director of community management, maybe one social media poster. They've got the director of community management, they have the social media manager, chief marketing officer, it's very rare, and then a PR head. That's almost unheard of for small market cap coins. What definitely looks like the team is more specialized and bigger than you'd expect. Development team is 11 total people, all good backgrounds. They even have a CFO. I've never heard of this for a smaller coin like this. So the team is definitely more specialized and they're bigger than you'd think, given their low market cap, which means the project could be underrated. Let's dive in some more. They're on the Polygon blockchain and their own proprietary launchpad, the Next Earth launchpad. They did a pre-sale in January of this year. They raised $2.1 million, so not a lot. They got to be a little bit sort of tighter with the strings there. The maximum allocation per pre-sale participant was $10,000. That's good. So that's higher than the usual low 1,000, 2,000, meaning it's not going to be entirely just small retail investors, which I don't have a problem with them, but a lot of times they do have a tendency to sell early once the pre-sale's over and the coin hits exchanges. So the higher, $10,000 max, they're going to have some bigger players there too. Price of the pre-sale, it was done on tiers depending on how much you allocated and when in the pre-sale time period you did allocate your money. It was between 0.005 and 0.0015. So it launched on exchanges a couple weeks later at 0.005. So the smaller allocation would have been a three times. It was a three times return. The bigger allocation was a 10 times return. So everyone was making money from the pre-sale. And as you can see, it's gone up even more since then. Let's look at the vesting schedule here. So the team is vested for 2 years. That's good. Bigger projects are sometimes vested for longer, 5 to 10 years, but you can't expect that for a smaller project, but they are in it for 2 years. So that's good. I like it. So they separated out the token supply for IT department, marketing, legal, and biz dev. So usually with coins, they'll kind of lump it all into one thing, usually be the treasury or just development, like 30%. Now they specialize it all out to the four different departments within the company, which is good. It shows they just kind of really know where all the money is going. And again, it just shows that this coin is basically run like a normal small company, not like a standard sort of pseudo anonymous smaller team, which there can be great project with those teams, but they tend to be at times a little more disorganized. That's not exclusively true, but this team is just run much more like an actual company. Let's see. So the total circulating supply, about 25% are unlocked. That's good. It's right in the middle. It usually ranges between 10% and 50%. Ideally, you want it closer to 50%, but only being on exchanges for 3 months, having 25% of the token supply circulating it's about normal. It's not bad. It means there's not going to be would be some coins, but not tons and tons of coins becoming unlocked in the future and potentially putting some sell pressure on the project. Let's look at the hardcore numbers, the adoption numbers, user base. So far they've sold 35,000, or they have 35,000 total landowners who have purchased land in the metaverse. They have 200,000 registered users. Is pretty good here. They've minted 400,000 total NFTs, and the best part, they've made $9 million in total revenue since August 2021. I mean, actually a revenue generating project here. Huge user base. This is great. This is the kind of stuff that exchanges look for. They've also followed through on their charity promise. They've donated $800,000 total to environmental charities. The four charities are Ocean Cleanup, Amazon Watch, Kiss the Ground, and Sea Turtles. So this is a mix of some obviously environmental stuff, as I said, ocean cleanup, rainforest preservation, climate change, saving turtles. So they're very, going along with the Next Earth name. They are, sort of actually living according to that and donating 10% of the revenues to environmentally friendly causes. That is good. Let's look at exchanges. So this is innovative. They were only on three exchanges, one centralized, MEXC, the other two decentralized. MEXC is sort of big, not huge. Uniswap is like medium size. QuickSwap, that's smaller. So they're not really on any huge exchanges and not on tons of exchanges either. So this is good because since they have the hardcore user numbers, big exchanges like that, and then that will be price bumps in the future if they do get on a Coinbase, FTX, Crypto.com, any of the big ones. And they have actually said in a tweet that they are in talks with 4 of the top 10 biggest centralized exchanges. And I definitely believe that since they do have the numbers to back everything up, the adoption numbers. And they're also on OpenSea for the secondary selling of the NFTs you can mint within their ecosystem, their metaverse. Let's look at the marketing. They've been featured in a ton of these are all big basically crypto news outlets here: CoinMarketCap News, Bitcoin.com News, Bitcoinist Decrypt News, BTC, Coinbase News. That's the mainstream ones. Entrepreneur Magazine, Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, and CoinDesk. That's probably the biggest crypto news. It is very for a small market cap coin. This is very impressive. So the PR person is really doing her job, and she's very well connected with the writers of all these outlets here. And this is not just like putting a paid press release on these. Anyone can do that. This is actually having connections with the writers, being really plugged in, and getting the writers to be genuinely interested in this project and writing about it. So that's another reason why their token has performed so well. And then more on the marketing. So I like they kind of keep it old school. They do a lot of sort of hyping up of the announcements before they happen. That stuff works when you have, very limited marketing budget, only $2 million total fundraise. You have to do the sort of, cost effective, but, stuff that works. And that's what they're doing. So here, they're announcing that we will be listed on a centralized exchange next week. This was before MEXC, and indeed the price did pump accordingly when they were listed on MEXC. They also do this kind of stuff, polls of, we're going to make an announcement soon, something about a partnership, something about a centralized exchange news. They take a poll, which do you want? And whatever people vote for, that's the announcement they use first. So again, limited marketing budget, you got to do grassroots effective stuff like this. They keep it old school. They do a bunch of watch parties for their next C listing, launch party for their website launch. Here they have a mystery reveal, live announcement. Here they just to basically give the listing date for the announcement for the Mexi listing. So I like it. This is this also all the team members are based in one area, Hungary. That's pretty rare in crypto. Usually it's teams all over the place. They're actually in one centralized office here, run like a normal company, as I said. This sort of goes in line with it because they're just having fun. They're in the office. They're making announcements. They're actually communicating with each other. It's just sort of it's a breath of fresh air. Not like projects that aren't like this are bad projects. There are some good ones, but it is just a breath of fresh air to see a team actually in one corporate office here like this. So yeah, in conclusion, I am very bullish on this project. I think they have the hardcore adoption numbers to back it up. I think the fact they're not on a lot of exchanges is very beneficial because exchanges usually like a lot, high user base numbers, which they have. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest from the exchanges. And then if they do get on the big centralized exchanges, that's going to cause significant price bumps in the future. I think the team is just great at grassroots marketing without a high marketing budget. I think they really understand the retail market. And, I'm very excited about this project. I would suggest everyone else kind of follow this project going forward themselves. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with a new video. See you later.